Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from Across the Shock, and this is just a wee quick video. I've just got the granddaughter from school. We'll have her till about 8 o'clock tonight, so my time will be elsewhere. Um, this was a video. I was watching one last night, late last night, and Rasputin's Castle has done it, and it was a shows your odd knives. Now, I don't have as many as he's. His video is just fascinating. I loved it. Mine's just going to be quick, simple, the odd ones that I have. I used to have lots of different locking mechanisms, but over the years I've let them go. But I've got a couple of odd ones here, and one really special wee one, to me anyway. And I'll just show you some, because everybody's idea of odd is different. My first odd one is this. Not long got this knife. I got this at the Sharp Show over here in the UK. It's a Casou X. It is new old stock. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a 5-bladed knife, but who on earth in these days is going to carry a big 5-bladed knife? 3 back springs, 5 blades, which is pretty good, you know what I mean? It's not bad to have them in. But there's not many people going to carry them now. I love it. I just think it is so odd that you can get a 5-blade knife in nowadays. I think if you go back in time a bit, if you're going to be away extended time and you wouldn't have sharpeners, this would have kept you going for a few days out in the wilderness. Where our blade steels now, if we want a blade steel that's going to last us days, we'll take a modern knife with a really high hardness, a good tough knife with us. We might carry this as a backup, but a Stockman's is about as big as I want to go. But nonetheless, a bit of an unusual knife. And you don't see, there's not many makers now that are making these 5-bladed knives. The other one, now this is a prototype that Ashley Harrison was making, and he's made a couple since then, I think. He'd done everything, manufactured this little saw, the chopping blade, and a fantastic pen blade in the most beautiful piece of Stag. It is a gorgeous piece of Stag. And look at the back spring on that now. It's beautiful. Now, at the top here, I'm going to just be honest. I'll close this down. But you can see the blades. Fantastic blades. This was for cockfighting. And then you have this great hacksaw on it, which was for hacking off bones. So, the back spring on this, it's really tight, but it's just they're a wee bit lower and higher. He was having trouble getting them, and this was a prototype on his main ones. I'm sure they weren't there. It's all right here, but it dips a wee bit, and these 2 brass liners stick up an ever so slight bit. But again, it's a prototype. It's not something that Ashley would sell you. I love that little knife. Really do love it. And here's another odd looking knife. Who would sit down and design a knife like this? I just don't know. A pterodactyl. It is just, but the bone, the jigging, the craftsmanship that goes into this little knife. Now, it's a lockable knife. You have that, and you just lock it. Case don't do that many locking knives, but this is a fantastic example. You're supposed to do it like this, one-handed. It's supposed to be able to be done one-handed. I find it blooming awkward. Once we get it going, that's all right. Listen to that lockup. Isn't that lockup just fantastic? Fantastic. Really unusual blade, but you have a nice bit of belly, slim blade, just a gorgeous knife, but incredibly odd. I think so, anyway. And here's another knife that I think it's odd. I mean, we've all seen the old Chinese and Japanese, the little friction folder. This came out in Battlebox years ago. Now, I got this off somebody in a trade. It says Battlebox on the clip. I can't remember who made it. I don't remember what the blade steel was, other than it was good blade steel. I know it wasn't a number steel, a Chinese number steel. I think it might have been D2 or something like that. So if anybody got one for Battlebox and can tell me what the blade steel is, I'd be really appreciative. But it's a lovely little, look how fine that little knife is, down to a lovely tip on it. Nearly a wee reverse tanto there. Such a great little box opener or anything, and it's got brass scales. Non-locking, little friction folder. I find them, it's an odd looking, but it's so much more comfortable than the Chinese made ones or the Japanese, where it's at the side of the street. It's one bit of metal just bent over and one bolt through it. That's it. Nothing else. And a stock pin, I should say. There you are, stop pin there, and just this is just pinned at the back here. But simple, but yet really effective little knife. And if you like your brasses, it's great for a collection. Now, this one is called the Rolic. Now, it did go on to have another name, which I'm not going to say on YouTube, but I think from Rolic you can guess what it was called. Really strange opening mechanism. And this is before the Ultim hit the thing. This was just a clear plastic. You pop it like that, and then use your thumb and you just push it down and it locks in place. And it is solid. There's no movement in that whatsoever. Solid little cut. This is made by CRKT. Wasn't it CRKT? Yeah, CRKT that made it. Beautiful. Probably in 8CR, I would have thought. Yeah, it probably is. It doesn't say it there, but probably an 8CR, but who cares? What an unusual little knife. Now, to release it, there's a little, can you see it here? A little button here, and you press the button and it comes back and you just push it back. Oh, just push back, push it down in. I don't know what the problem was the man was solving, but he solved it in his own way. And I just think it's a cracking little knife. Super little money clip, even if you want it. But I've kept this for years. I've had it for years. I love it. Another knife. This is more on the, if you don't like feet, you're not going to like. This is a corn knife. This is what they would have used for removing. Now, if you go back to the last century and the century before, corns were a problem because people had ill-fitting shoes. Now, you could have wore your uncle's hand-me-downs if he died early. But you have a lovely little sharp blade here, and this extended handle here, so that you could get right up close to the corn and cut round the corn and cut it out. So quite a gruesome little tool if you don't like feet or you've got to get your corns cut out, but nonetheless a lovely knife. I just enjoy it, I have to say. And this one is the what's the name of this called? Ring, the ring knife. Watch this now. There's a little ring here. Put your fingers either side of it, twist. Listen to that lock up. Absolutely lovely little knife. A little just pen knife. You have a blade at it. You don't have to do that. Sorry, let's do this. It goes against everything you do, doesn't it? You have another little pen blade there, a small and a large pen blade. What a beautiful little knife. And you can lock it by doing this as well. You see, I'm doing it all wrong because I'm not, it's just not intuitive. Listen to that. What a beautiful little lock up on a wee knife. So if you're a lady and you've got long fingernails, you can open this little knife without breaking your fingernails. Isn't that class? Beautiful little ring knife. And either blade you can take out. Again, an odd knife, you know. I can't think of a problem other than ladies with long nails why you'd want to do that. Just super. Or if you had gloves on, maybe, I suppose, you've got something to open it. There we go. So a lovely knife to my collection. We'll go to this one next. This, it took me a while to find out what it was. Pretty obvious, really, when you think of it. It has this large pin-like structure, which could be used for anything. But this side will probably give it away a bit better. You have a little pen blade. And then the mystery tool. Let me just get this out without cutting myself to death. Where is it? Come on, Stephen. It's quite difficult to get it out. And look at that tool. This was for oysters or Woolics. You could have picked your Woolics out of the wee shell with this. You cut once you got your oyster out, you could have jammed this in, I suppose, and opened the oyster. But then to pick the flesh out, and then just an unusual, really nice knife. It's just, I got it. I didn't know what I was buying at the time, and sometimes that's the best way to buy. I didn't know what it was. It's still got some spring left in this wee thing. But a lovely, unusual knife to have in the collection. It came in this lovely little leather, like a purse pouch. And it stays in there, keeps it all tidy. Love it. Unusual again. Now, this is my favourite of the lot. It's probably the most plain one of the whole lot, but it comes in a beautifully tooled little leather sheath. And the nicest part about this knife is what it says on the back. There we go. Pilfered from the Cleveland Stevedore Company. I just think that's absolutely... I think they must have got these for the staff at Christmas for a bit of a giggle and laugh. Pilfered from the Cleveland Stevedore Company. I just think that is super. And inside you've got a most beautiful German-made, look at this, engine turned. It is beautifully done. And I don't think this has been carried or used. There's no marks on it at all, hardly. There we go. You got a lovely pen blade there. On the other side, you have a little smaller pen blade. And then the other side, which is quite unusual. Let me just get this out. Oh, you have 3 pen blades. And I'm thinking, well, this is not a pen blade. This is a nail file. And obviously the nail file remover looks so much different when you turn it over. Thought that is lovely. It's just a wee gentleman's... But here's a little tool that I have never seen before on any other knife. Now you're said, Stephen, that is quite simply just a little screwdriver. And yes, it may well be. But let me tell you something about this little screwdriver. Listen to this. Oh, get something metal. There we go. I can't show you. Come on, Stephen. I should have had a little bit of metal here. Gosh almighty. This is magnetic. I've got to get something to pick up. I've nothing lying about here. Hang on a wee minute. Oh, I am the worst reviewer ever. Yes, I know. I know I am. I don't mean to be. I'm just rubbish at it. Oh, come on. Just want something small to lift up. This, to be honest with you, it's to me it's a ladies thing because it's so light, but it's great for picking up pins or anything like that. And I haven't got a pin anywhere in sight. I can show you it here on this. It's not a particularly strong, but it wouldn't be hard. You see that? Look. Oh, sorry. You can see that there. It's a little magnet. And how did I know it was a magnet? Because I would have just thought it was a screwdriver. Because the kind people, you're not going to see this probably. It says, just in the middle there, magnet. I didn't notice. I always thought it was a screwdriver. I think it was yesterday or the day before I realised it was a magnet. And what an ideal thing. It's a lovely lady's tool for looking after her nails, filing her nails. And then look at that. You have a little magnet to drop if you dropped your pins. Again, going back years ago, that would have been just so phenomenal. And I know it's silly. And if they hadn't wrote magnet on it, I probably never would have found it. I didn't realise when I bought it, it said magnet. I bought this at the Sharp Show as well, at a wee table. You know, it was new old stock. But what a beautiful little case it goes into. Look at that lovely red leather. I am absolutely taken with this one. The fact that it said magnet on it is brilliant because nobody must have known until they actually made, decided, no, we'll better write magnet on it. But super. So there's my odd knives. Rasputin, sorry I didn't have as many as you, but to me they're lovely odd knives and great conversation pieces like any knife should be. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Paddy's away. Bye now.